Lads, seriously, we're less than 24 hours from our first league game at Hartlepool and we've got nothing, absolutely nothing for talk of the town.
Yeah, look at this. It's all a bit of a mess. It's a shambles. Oi, please. Just a bit of quiet. We're trying to work. We've got to get this show together. We've got one day.
All right, lad, you going to do it, are you?
No, we've got enough to do here. Right, we need a co-host, right? Someone every week to be on the show. Who can we get?
Joe Comper?
No, he's gone to Gillingham.
Well, that said your ties.
Somewhere nicer than Gillingham. He's gone to Spain, but no.
Ken?
I think he's retired now.
Oh.
Excuse me. Oi! A bit of peace and quiet would be nice, please.
What are you doing, lad?
Danny Baldwin. Do you know anything about Crawley Town?
Only once or twice from here.
Do you want to co-host the show?
Come on, you ready?
Yes, welcome back to a new series of Talk of the Town. We've got the go-ahead for another year. Things might look a little different. Straight away off the bat, Danny Baldwin comes into the squad.
Thank you, yeah, got called up.
You excited?
Oh, am I?
What's your role at the club this season? Because I think a few fans might be interested kind of what's been going on with you, because we haven't seen you. Really.
Yeah, I'm still interested in what my role is, really. But no, I'm working on a few things behind the scene, and hopefully announcement will be made shortly. So stay tuned.
In the meantime, though, if you're looking for Crawley Town content, interviews, any kind of exclusive behind-the-scenes sort of content, this is going to be the place. This is going to be the channel for you to come along and see it. Every week we'll be doing it. We'll be running through the games that we've got coming up midweek, at the weekends. And again, you're going to be jumping around, sitting down with a few of the players, sitting down with the management team and trying to give us a different angle, maybe looking maybe slightly off the pitch as well, and just trying to bridge that insight between the fans and what goes on here.
From my point of view, I want to get the personalities out. The
Good luck. Tough job.
yeah, it's going to be tough, but someone's got to do it. So I'm going to be talking to fans, players, staff, management, everyone. Obviously, John's a character, so that's an easy sort of conversation. But new players, old players, I'm around them. I have been around them for a few years now, so I know who the jokers are and who are the ones that I shouldn't interview. So yeah, no, it should be a good time and a good show to look forward to.
Let's get straight into it, really, because we're a day out from the season starting. It feels like it's coming around quite quickly, but I guess for fans who haven't been back and are coming back this season, it's probably felt like an eternity to be able to get back into stadiums. How's pre-season been? How's the group been? I know you're still involved in it day to day, of course. You see all the lads, you know the new signings coming in. Sometimes I think, because a lot of people want to see loads of new players coming in, but at this level you want to see the group stay together, and we've clearly got a good group in there. Yeah,
from me, and obviously I know John very well. I've known him 15 years now, and he's all about team spirit and a tight knitted group. And yeah, from me being inside that, there's a good core of professional players that they know how to play football and they know how to win games. So it's adding on top of that and buying into what we're trying to do here.
Quickly, one on Hartlepool then. Is it a little bit of a tricky game to get straight off for the first game? You go away, first and foremost, up the other end of the country to a team that's recently promoted. Hearing they might have pretty much sold out their entire home allocation. Does that become a challenge that you want to get to, that it makes it, you're going in as the quieter side of the story? Or is it maybe not the ideal start to the season? Which one do you look at that?
I look at it, the pressure's on them.
Mm-hmm.
We were saying they've got over 2,500 season ticket holders. So it's going to be loud, it's going to be noisy, but if they go a goal down or they don't perform, then the crowd's going to turn. And John will use all that. We've got experience in the squad, and I'm sure we'll go up there and put on a really good display, and I think we get a good result.
Speaking of John, you caught up with him earlier on this week, so let's have a quick listen into what Danny was able to get out of the gaffer going into the first game against Hartlepool tomorrow.
Right, John. Thanks for
How
coming
are
in.
you, mate? You good?
Yeah, enjoying it?
Enjoying what? Freedom. Well, you know what it's like, mate, yourself. But no, it's going all right. You can't moan too much, otherwise nobody listens to you anyway. So you get on with it.
Absolutely. So, in terms of Crawley Town, what's the biggest change since the time you were here before?
I knew you were going to throw that at me. I just think it's the supporters haven't changed too much. I just think the whole area, the whole of football's changed. Because it's all, you know, having spent that time in the Premier League and doing all the other stuff that we've done when we left here, it's just all about money. And you see last year that the teams were successful is about money. But we're just the sort of like team that we've always has been, is you fight for everything, and you know, nobody's going to suddenly give you millions and millions of pounds to spend on players, which I wouldn't want it any other way. And I think the change of it was when they went through a little bit of a stage of having money, Crawley. There's not too much to show for all the money that they spent, is there, except the Football League status. And don't underestimate that, because we got, you know, we was fighting to get in the Football League last time. So no, don't underestimate it. But I think that's obviously the biggest change, is the level of where we're at.
So, in comparisons to the first time you was here to now,
Team-wise,
everything.
I think the team that we had going back in the day, where you had Ben Hamer, who went on to do really well, you had Scott Randell, who went on, you had Elliot Benyon. I think we had Michael Boswick, yourself, Stevie Evans, the midfielder, Lloyd Blackman.
Okay, going back to that, do you remember your first game as caretaker manager with a few of the players?
Yes. And I think we won 3-1.
Against?
I think, if my memory serves me well, I think it might have been, no, it wasn't Stevenage.
Close. It's nearby there.
Yeah. It's near Stevenage.
It was 2-1.
Was it Woking?
2-1 at home
I knew he was there somewhere.
against St Albans.
St Albans.
There you go.
And I tell you, the manager was Colin Lapierre.
I haven't got that in my notes, but
Do you remember him?
How many of the starting 11 can you name?
For us?
Yeah.
I think I could go through the team. Scott Hiley,
Correct.
Woos,
Yep.
Judgy,
Yep.
Ronnie Ball.
No.
Oh, no. Let me come back to that one then. There was Blackie,
Yep.
Tony Scully,
Yep.
yourself.
Yep.
Up front was Lloyd Blackman.
No.
No, it wasn't. Scott Randell.
Yep. He scored the winner.
He scored the winner. Elliot Benyon. No. Scott Randell, he scored the winner. Don't know.
Jake Edwards.
Oh, yeah. Big Jake.
And
Who's now ready the American MLS, LA or whatever it is.
Ozzy was there as well.
Michael Boswick, yeah.
And Gary Mills.
Gary Mills.
Yeah.
Gary Mills.
Do you know who scored our equaliser?
You.
Thank you.
There you go. I knew that one. Yeah, and Ben Hamer obviously was in goal. But then we bought Ronnie Ball in, didn't we?
Yep.
And then we
The
bought
crazy game.
The crazy game, yeah. Then we bought Mark Wright, came in, scored at Tolworth.
Do you not think that situation with Crawley, the limited amount of players we had, backs against the wall, did that sort of create
Oh, it
the manager we
gelled
see
us.
today?
It gelled us because we came here sometimes and we used to do a lot of running, if you remember, because we only had six or seven footballs, and we was training over in the park. And listen, I think that's what's done us good stead last year and now. I think it's the camaraderie and people you've got to get on with people. Because I say, you ain't got the money to go out and splash out on a big player, on the so-called bigger players. So you've got to work with what was in you. And I think everyone enjoyed it. You know, Chaz Majida used to take a lot of stick and all that at the time, but he pumped a nice few quid in it.
Had a nice fish finger sandwich as well, didn't he?
Well, that's where you got your signing on.
There it is.
I never even knew fish had fingers until I went there.
So getting on this season, looking forward to it?
Once it starts, you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, I think it's what the 30th odd season there, and on this side of it, and it don't change. The problems are the same. We all know you do what you want in pre-season, but it's all about the first game, isn't it? And you're looking at the squad. You always want to get better. You're always looking for better players. Am I enjoying what we're doing? Of course you are. You're in football. You get up every morning and you're working in a pro game. So the answer to that, I suppose, Mr. Baldwin, would be yes. I'm looking forward to it.
So a lot of new faces through the door. Anyone you're excited about?
All of them. Every one of them. I can't stop sleeping because I'm saying, no, listen, they're all good players. They've all come, you know that. We don't, especially with the Max thing last year and all that sort of thing, it's, people look at your club and yeah, I've never seen or never knew that to happen anywhere else I've been. You know, a boy comes in a club for 3 months on nothing, who we bought in, and then you go and sell him for over £1 million within 3 months, and the fans never even see him play as such on a regular basis.
So you're looking for another one, are you?
We got 2 or 3 of them, but I just can't tell you about them yet. I've got to sign up with my agency. But no, I haven't got an agency. You're always looking, and if you stop looking, that's when you you know. We ain't, as I keep saying, we ain't got the dough to go and go toe to toe with the biggies. We've got to produce and pick up the ones that are owing themselves and possibly whatever they haven't had a career for in the past, whether it's be injury, whether it be stupidity.
Yeah, but I think that's good that you pick up these players and then
Oh,
get the characters in them. And,
yeah, of course. But you know what we like around this place and all that, and if they're not good characters, then ain't worth them being here. I ain't got time, we ain't got time for all this, you know, thinking that you're better than what you are, otherwise you won't be at this level, would you?
Exactly. Well, John, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much. It's a pity that you're coming though, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to come. You've got to 12th man again. I think if I remember, it's funny, isn't it? Because when we came here, we signed you, and I understand now you're going to meet a lot of the new boys that we signed anyway. So there'll be a little bit of deja vu for you. You'll be in my shoes, and they'll be in your shoes.
You get a lot of deja vu at our age, don't you?
You certainly do. Well, I don't know about the deja. I don't even know what it means, but you can't go down Jar Jar Bowl with them and get your fish finger sandwiches.
No,
That's the only
is
thing.
it shut?
It's shut.
There you go.
It's shut.
Well, John.
Nice one, Bully.
Yeah, lovely chat with the gaffer there, Danny. How did you find it going from being a player, being told what to do by him, to suddenly trying to get a little line out of him and have a sit down and have a bit more of an informal chat?
I think it was hard at the beginning, but I've known John for 15 years, on and off the pitch, so we've always had that relationship where we can chat about anything. But it was quite good to have a walk down memory lane. His first game where he was caretaker with Judgy and Woos, like he said in the interview, where I scored, which is probably the last one I scored. But it's just nice to sit down with him, and because he is a character, and I think it's better me talking to him than Sam or Tom.
And there'll be plenty more of this throughout the season as well. So the fans can get used to you sitting down, and hopefully that's something, your rapport with the manager might get even better throughout the weeks.
Or worse. Depends what questions I ask him. You don't know.
Danny might not be here next week, everybody. Another thing that's going to be new, the kits, home and away. Let's have a look. Thank you.
Whammy.
Home kit, pretty good. Do we like it?
Like it.
Yeah, so do I. I think sometimes I said to you before, fans sometimes need to grow. It needs to grow into the kit sometimes. I think, you get off to a good start and everyone will be loving it. The collar's gone. But I know you do like a collar sometimes, don't you? What did you say to me?
Yeah, I'm a fan of a collar.
Why?
Eric Cantona, obviously.
God. Anyway, we're away tomorrow. We will be in the home kit. I'm a fan of the blue as well. I like it. You like I think even little things like the golden 125th anniversary shirt.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. Love it all. I love what Araya's doing, and plenty more stuff in the old club shop.
So the 2 new kits, both out now, you can buy here in the club shop. We can have a little bit of a closer look now at how that launch process came out through the summer.
Roll VT.
Cubs. It's a fabulous finish, and Crawley have turned this around with 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes. Cerula. It's a lovely turn from Cerula, and it's opened up for him. Nick Cerula! A magic moment at Crawley Town.
Forever to go. Forever to go. Forever to go. Forever to go.
Yep, the kit looking lovely then. And another interview you've done this week, so we're going to start rattling through all the content that we've got. Owen Gallagher, new face that's come into the squad. You haven't crossed paths for anything before in your time?
Time where?
Anywhere in the game.
Oh, well,
You've been
in the game.
You've been all over the place.
He's only bloody
You never
12
know.
years old, almost. So, no, had a little catch up with him. It was hard for me because being a journalist, I tried to do a bit of intel. You know, obviously John was quite easy. Plus, I know him. But yeah, Wikipedia didn't have too much on Owen. So I had to wing it a little bit. But just asked him how he was and how he's settling in. But no, he seems a good lad, and I think it could be a very good signing.
Before we get into that, it's worth noting that anyone watching the show this evening can get access to tickets for Lingfield. Jess Glynn's going to be there. You know a little bit more about it than me. Coming up tomorrow, what can the fans do? What's going on? Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, basically it's a race day on Saturday, and after that there's going to be Jess Glynn performing live. If you scan the barcode, what is
QR.
it? QR code. Grandad, and
Modern day, yeah.
You'll be zapped straight through to the discount. I think it's a £15 off retail price tickets, which is amazing. You know, to see Jess Glynn live, 25 quid, can't go wrong.
So scan the QR code, have a flick, have a look through. Don't know what your plans are tomorrow night, but you can get over to Lingfield, see Jess Glynn. In the meantime, have a listen to Bully's Catch Up with Owen Gallagher.
So this is Owen Gallagher. Is it Gallagher?
Yeah.
You're the first left back to come through the door, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
What's the other geezer like? Is he any good?
Yeah, he is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Who do you reckon the gaffer fancies? Him or you?
Don't know. I think we'll see that as the season goes on.
Yeah,
Find out.
You've been here a couple of weeks now, so you bedded in well?
Yeah, I feel I've settled in really well. Obviously, everyone's been top class since I've moved in, so it's been really good.
So I hear you're living in the dungeon, is that correct?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
The players' quarters. How's that going for you?
Yeah, it's good. It's getting a bit busy at the minute. I think there's 7 of us in that house. So
Who's in there at the moment then?
obviously, there's me, Will, Jordan, and Blondie, Ludwig. So there's a few of them in there.
Anyone else from the staff?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Harry the physio's in there as well.
What does he eat on a daily basis? Is it usually quite dry for, isn't it? Crackers and cheese.
Yeah, it is.
that
Yeah.
it? He's quite a entertaining character, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Did you tell any stories about that, or do you just want to keep that?
No,
Should we just move on to how
Yeah.
you locked your car keys in your car?
All right. Yeah. That wasn't too great.
What happened? I only.
So we're going to the gym after training the other day, and just put my bags in the back of the car, shut the door, but obviously my keys were in the bag. Went to open the door and locked my car. Can I get in it?
How long did it take you to get back in it?
It's good 24 hours.
Perfect.
So I did get someone to come out, try and break into it, but didn't go down too well.
So obviously your accent, you're Australian, is that?
Yeah, nah, I'm a Geordie.
Yeah, okay. So we're going back up that way. You got many family coming to support you?
Well, it'd be nice to see a few of them there. Obviously, they won't tell us if they're there, but I'll see them after the game.
Okay. You're not going to get them tickets then?
No.
That's not nice, is it?
I'll get a few and put their side, and if they come, they come.
Perfect. Well, Owen, good luck for the season.
Thank you.
I'm sure you do well here.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Ever the professional Danny Ballman. A little bit trickier, that one, wasn't it? I think you could tell.
Yeah, it's like you said. Yeah, he's new to the team.
Basically, any fans that know how to edit Wikipedia, any new signing we make, quickly do it before Danny sits down to interview, and then you might know a little bit more.
Yeah, and I will, true or false, I will address it to him.
Another new signing you haven't spoken to yet. Ludwig's here, and he played in the game against West Ham's under-21s, scored. So obviously a good little trial period, gets rewarded with the contract. What did you make of some of these pre-season games? When you're playing against the under-21s, under-23s, as a player, are you thinking, physically we should be much better than them, or technically they might be better than us? How does that balance kind of come? Because we performed really well in the two games.
Yeah, I think when you play against 23 teams, they just want to pass it no matter where. But you're going to come up against teams that do that in League Two, and it's all about setting traps, when to go, when not to go. Because if they do break the lines with a pass and you don't press as a group, you will be picked off and you'll be running all over the pitch. So that was a good sort of workout in mentally more than physically maybe, and the previous games maybe more physically. So I think it's been a good sort of mix of games pre-season and some bloody good results. So
yeah, and Ludwig's come in. What have you made of him? He's a presence, isn't he? He's huge and can evidently play as well, and show he's got an eye for goal, which is great.
Yeah, and spoke to him and he said he's technical. I said, you're technical, your head, because that's what he's schooled with. But he thinks he's got left foot, right foot. So hopefully we'll have a ball playing centre half in our squad.
It's harsh on Tanny, that, isn't it?
What?
It's harsh on Tanny.
He's ledged though, isn't he?
Yep, so Ludwig's now signed. He's here to stay for the season. But if you want to quickly see how he got on against West Ham's under-21s, we can dip in and see the highlights now. Yeah, lovely little pre-season win against West Ham. We had the other one against Tottenham as well. So we're going into tomorrow with a little bit of momentum. Obviously, pre-season's a little bit more than just getting the results, but getting minutes in the legs as well. There's been a lot of change going on at the club. Tom Allman, general manager, overseeing all of it, and we asked you to get your questions into him. You got any questions that we need to pass on to Tom?
Where does he get his trainers from?
It's a good one.
Because I came in the office the other day, and you've got these, the Yeezy Crocs.
Oh, I've seen them.
Have you seen them?
I've seen them.
Have you seen them on him?
No. How bad is it?
He's got style, hasn't he? He can pull
He'll have to come on the show to answer him. Wearing them.
Do the gardening as well. So.
Anyway, all of you got in touch. A few things you wanted to know about, things like the scoreboard, amongst others, ticket prices, season ticket sales, how everything's going at the club. That one's been released today, but we can hear a little bit of a teaser of what you can expect when you sit down to watch the full update with the general manager, Tom Allman.
We know there's been many questions raised on the topic of the scoreboard. What's the update in that department?
Yeah, and rightly so. That we've always got a lot of questions about what's happening with the scoreboard, and being blunt, it's been put on the back burner over the course of the COVID pandemic. Whilst we're really keen to get it up internally, I think everyone can probably appreciate that. The scoreboard's almost acts as the sprinkles on top of the ice cream, and again, being blunt, the last sort of 12, 14, 16 months has been all about making sure that ice cream doesn't melt and that we've still got a club. Touch wood, now that it looks like we're coming out the other side of the COVID pandemic, it's come right back to the forefront, and we're really pushing to get it up as soon as possible. So as the latest, obviously to give people a timeline, we had the original location on top of the North Stand. We had all the applications in place for that, all the planning and regulations, all that sort of stuff, and then we had to move that location at the final hurdle based on some Football League regulations. So obviously owing to the fact that we're not in a 90,000 seater stadium like Wembley, having this massive scoreboard right behind the goal, for example, when someone's taken a penalty, could have been deemed to have been off-putting. So whilst it was frustrating that we had got fairly deep into that process, what we didn't want to do was install it just to then have to have sort of aspects of it curbed on a match day of having it switched off if someone's taken a penalty, or worst case scenario paying for the install just to have it moved. That meant that with the new location that's now going to be in the northeast corner, we had to undertake a new feasibility study. So I mean, getting down into getting the manhole covers up and the drains to see what was underneath the stadium, the power around in that corner. Again, with where it's going to be, it's fairly close proximity wise to the floodlights. There was all the powering issues and the cabling that runs from that. So it's a really sort of thorough process. So from then on in, we then had to submit those plans to the local authority and our safety group. We've got approval on that based on various requirements. So we were able to proceed with the structural calculations. To give fans an insight into what that entails, we're talking a big screen. It's not just it's not the scoreboard like we had of old. It's not just a sort of 50-inch TV slapped up on the wall. It's we've got to calculate wind bearings. That obviously has implications piling wise and going down into the ground. So, as I say, they're not excuses; they're facts of it's a big project that is undertaken. And for the last 12 months, it's been something that hasn't been deemed a necessity, and now we're back looking to crack on with it. So the club have now signed off on the revised budget plan. So we've started booking in contractors and going through our project managers, identity consultants who have been brilliant and haven't been working to a margin on the project at all. I feel that's important to note that, again, they've been doing it for the love of the club and for a want to, again, repeat myself, but progress the club forward. As I say, as part of that local authority and SAG sign-off previously, we had to appoint a second structural assessor just to verify the calculations that were made. So again, we were fairly far down the line with that, and then again, unfortunately, in the world that we live in, he unexpectedly passed away. So between the club and identity, we had to appoint a new assessor, so to speak. That is literally being verified as we speak. So hopefully in the next week or two, we're going to come out with a detailed plan of works, some sort of drawings of how the scoreboard can look, and then hopefully we'll be up sooner rather than later.
A little bit of an update there from Tom Allman. You can dig in and catch the full roundup of what's been going on at the club with him if you just check out our channels, the socials. You'll be able to see that one. Very quickly as we look to wrap up, tomorrow's game all starts again. It's been a quick turnaround. Hasn't though for the fans. How weird was last season playing behind closed doors, and how good is it going to be to get fans back in the gate?
It was weird and wonderful. It was,
wonderful when we lost. Is that what you're going to say?
No, just the highlight for me, guys, was Gillingham away. No crowd. John Yems, Steve Evans. That's all you need to say.
It wasn't PG, was it?
Echoing around, a couple of swear words were flown around, and something about his nationality and about his weight, maybe, I'm not sure. But some stuff got flown about, and it was echoing around the stadium. It was pretty mental.
We've got take 2 of that coming up on Tuesday, but the fans will, the loudness of the first real game back with Crawley fans here at home on Tuesday night. Before that, obviously, Hartlepool tomorrow. The team, the players are all left. What goes on now? Because you've had a little bit of a summer break, and then you're slammed back with 6 hours up there on the coach. I want to give footballers a little bit of credit here, that it's not quite as luxurious as some may think. It's a case of being slapped straight back to reality tomorrow, isn't it?
And you're going to be slapped in the face with boiled chicken, dry pasta, stiff broccoli, and jelly and ice cream.
But hopefully 3 points.
Definitely 3 points.
Definitely 3 points.
Go on, John. You got this.
Don't forget, if you want to catch up on Talk of the Town, you can do. It's all over YouTube. What do you have to do on YouTube?
Subscribe now.
You're not stuck in the olden days anymore, are you? That's right. You can like it as well.
The fun's
or thumbs up. Is it a thumbs up? It's a thumbs up and a like. You can subscribe, I think, on YouTube.
On the YouTube?
I think just YouTube. Just YouTube.
Okay.
Yep. Got
What
that?
is that?
www. YouTube.
the World Wide Web.
The World Wide Web. You can catch us there. We'll be back next week. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more professional. We're going to get better. You're going to get better as the weeks go by, aren't you? As you transition into this as your full-time career.
Well, yeah, we're just going to have fun with it. And
host Match of the Day next season. Do you reckon you got that in you?
Well, Gary's gone, isn't he? Where's he going?
There's a gap in the market. Messi's gone. Gary's gone.
Oh. Merger. So, yeah.
I think one thing we should keep over from last season is how we end the show. It's a big game tomorrow away at Hartlepool. One thing to say. You can say it with me. Come on, you Reds!
So if you've liked that episode of Talk of the Town, then subscribe or ring the bell so you don't miss another show. Come on, you Reds.